Hey Body Buds, I'm Christy Joe. Today I was just looking through some of the comments that were in Power Foods Lifestyle Champions, which is a private group that I run, part of my main company called Body Buddies. And if you're not a part of the group, come over, request to join it, start living Power Foods Lifestyle, experience the wonderful parts of it. But I read this comment today and it's made me want to film this video instead of go do my dishes in the 20 minutes I had that I was gonna do. So the dishes can wait, this is really important. So I wanna read you and then I'm gonna teach you what my feedback is. I just thought this was way too important to just type. I need to show you some things. So she says, I've been listening to your podcast, Christy, and I have learned so much. Yay! Podcast is on iTunes and Stitcher Radio called Body Buddies. I have had knee issues for like 2 years and they are due, I know, to my pelvis being twisted and uneven leg length. That is very common these days. And if you don't know my story, I have 40-degree scoliosis. So I know what it's like, you know, when we have just some oddities in our bodies. So this is common if this applies to you, whether it's a short leg, whether it's uneven hips, twisted ribs, scoliosis. So listen on. I visited the chiropractor almost weekly for 6 months with no improvement and then said, forget this. I will figure this out myself. You go, girl. So I have chiropractic blocks and use those to twist my hips in the right direction, correcting the uneven leg length and alleviating most of my knee pain. Last week I was doing some squats in an unusual manner and really hurt my knee. After listening to your podcast where you say squats are not for everyone, it's true, I had an aha moment. My question is, what exercises can I do to strengthen my knees? The one that hurts regularly just feels weak. So let's get started. Okay, I want you to first be aware of your kinetic chain of alignment. So you've got hips, knees, ankles, and toes. Everything needs to be in this direction. So if you are turning out your feet, guess what else needs to follow that pathway? You can't leave your knees there and let the turnout come, okay? Every angular adjustment of your feet needs to start here in your hips. So if there's a turnout or a turn in, okay? So what my knees go out, that's my toes out, my hips are out, etc. Okay, so let's take a lunge for example. Okay, so if I lunge forward, what many people tend to do is this knee either comes out or comes in, the foot comes out or comes in. So again, it's all about hip, knee, ankle, toes. Everything is in this direction. The next thing to pay attention to, look from the side angle, is when I'm in my lunge. Most people tend to lean forward because this is very uncomfortable for your low back. Okay, when you shift back, you take most of the strain from your quads and it comes up under your glutes. The pressure in your foot changes as well. If I'm pushing more through the ball of my foot, it's gonna feel more here on top. If I'm pushing more through my heels, that's coming up under my hamstrings and my glutes. So doing an isolated lunge very slowly, hold on to something for support like I'm doing here with the wall, but use your hand to guide your knee. Make sure that that kinetic chain of alignment is in place. This is one of the best slow things you can do to make sure you're training your body to move in these parallel planes, okay? Because most of the time what happens, also something else that happens with people's lunges is that they try and keep this foot flat and it turns in like this. Well, look at that from this angle. That just threw my whole kinetic chain of alignment off, right? So ball of the foot in the back, everything straight, those hips even. As you come down, that's how you're gonna actually isolate your glute to train that baby. Okay, a lot of people do lunges, squats, etc., trying to get their glutes to grow. Well, guess what? Your glute's not gonna grow like this. Here in my quad. You gotta come back, keep your pelvis needs to be rocked under, weight through the heel. That's where I'm getting a booty squeeze, okay? So that's the first thing we need to do. Okay, the next thing you need to do is sit just like this with your legs out in front of you. I'm curling my toes, pointing my feet, the dancer in me. Okay, so this is a great place for us to be aware of our kinetic chain of alignment as well, okay? So I want you just to put your hands on your knees, sit with your body upright, shoulders back and down, nice tall spine, head just looking straight forward, okay? Now I just want you to rotate this leg out and back in. Rotate out and back in. That rotation starts in the hip, follows through with the knee, the hips, or the ankle and the toes. Okay, so practice it out and in, and you're just mentally trying to picture that turnout. And what you're training your body to do is to follow the alignment that your hip is telling it to do, okay? And you don't have to point your toes, but I want you to see, okay? So I'll turn like this now. Okay, so it's just a rotation back in parallel. Rotation back in parallel. Do that on both sides. Again, keep that spine nice and tall. And the other thing that's going to happen is your knees might start to buckle like this. So I tell my dancers, make sure that you picture popsicle sticks on the back of your knees, and you're trying, that is what straightens that. So you're pressing the knee into the ground to elongate the leg, all of the muscles right here to keep that chain of alignment, okay? Then you can do both together. Rotate out, rotate in, rotate out, rotate in. The next thing is, now that you are familiar with that, bend just the knee, practice bending the knee, keeping it in that parallel frame. Bend and straight. Same thing with your other side, bend and straight. And you're focusing, you're mentally exerting everything, thinking of all of these ligaments and tendons. Everything is shooting in this one plane, keeping you safe. This is safety zone when you are following through. When you're turned out, look at that line, okay? If my hip's turned out, knee is out, ankle's out, toes out. Hip turns in, everything comes parallel. This application to every exercise you do is going to make all the difference. Every leg exercise. You'll not only train every muscle group smarter and safer, you're going to be more effective in what you actually do, which isn't the goal of doing any form of resistance training, to hit the muscle, help it break down to grow tighter and stronger and keep us mobile and active. That's the whole purpose of fitness. Then if you want to take that to the next level and do more aesthetics training, yeah, that's cool. But baseline is just function. So I would encourage all of you who watch this, be so aware of this kinetic chain of alignment. It will save you world of hurt on your knees. One last thing, I'm going to grab my foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, you need to get one, okay? This is made by Barbell One. I believe their website is barbell1.com. My friend John Bossy runs that site. Amazing stuff. This is really cool because you can see it's ridged. So a lot of athletes use this. You can just get in a lot deeper. So when you have knee pain, oftentimes you've actually got some bundled up fibers higher up on your leg. I get a lot of knee pain on the inside of my knees. When it does that, I don't say, oh, my knees hurt. I say, oh, I need to roll out my IT band. Okay, so your IT band just runs all the way down. It's very sensitive. It's gonna hurt the first time you do it, but just go ahead and just start up high. And I like to use my arms just to kind of guide right here. And then gently just roll through it. And you might wince and want to cry, but push through it, push through it, push through it. But rolling out different parts of your quads are going to help you just release that tension, because your quadriceps, that's 4 big muscle groups coming, swooping across the top of your leg here. Okay, and it's all of these attachments that come down. So when that's the result, as that's the symptom of problems usually higher up. So be careful about that. Start rolling, be aware of your kinetic chain of alignment, practice those isolated lunges, avoid some of the bigger, more complex movements till you feel confident and comfortable that you can do these smaller things safely and effectively. Then it's time to go to the next level. Hope this helped. See you later.